Matthew 8, verse 23 to 27, and Jesus and his disciples are crossing the Sea of Galilee in a boat. Suddenly, a fierce storm arises, and the waves begin to swamp the boat. The disciples, despite being experienced fishermen, panic and wake Jesus, who was asleep in the boat. They cry out, "Lord, save us, we're going to drown." Jesus responds by rebuking the winds and the waves, and immediately the sea becomes calm. Trust in God's sovereignty. Just as Jesus had control over the storm, we must trust that God is sovereign over every situation in our lives. When we encounter storms, whether they be literal storms or metaphorical challenges such as illness, financial difficulties, or relationship problems, we can find peace by placing our trust in God's power and sovereignty, prayer and dependence on Jesus. When faced with trials, our immediate response should be to turn to Jesus in prayer. Just as the disciples cried out to Jesus for help, we should bring our fears, worries, and concerns before him, knowing that he is always ready to listen and provide comfort. Strengthening faith. Jesus rebuked the disciples for their lack of faith. Similarly, we should constantly work on strengthening our faith through reading and meditating on the Word of God, spending time in prayer and fellowship with other believers, and actively trusting in God's promises. Finding peace in chaos. The storms of life can be overwhelming, but like the disciples, we can find peace and calm amid chaos by keeping our focus on Jesus. By fixing our eyes on him, we can trust that he will guide us through the storm and bring us safely to the other side. Learning from past experiences. The disciples had seen Jesus perform miracles before, yet they still struggled with fear and doubt in this situation. Similarly, we should reflect on our past experiences of God's faithfulness and provision to bolster our confidence in him during difficult times.